Hello, my name is Luz Angelica, and today I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite actors at the moment, Lewis Pullman. I hope you enjoy this video, so let's go. First of all, we're gonna make this question. Who is he? Louis James Pullman, better known simply as Lewis Pullman, is an American actor born in Los Angeles, California on January 29, 1993. He's the son of actor Bill Pullman and the artist Tamara Pullman. He's currently 32 years old. Before he's gonna be recognized, Lewis studied at the Warren Wilson College, that is a university with an artistic and community focus. Before dedicating himself fully to acting, he was a drummer in a band called Ada Boy. His family environment exposed him to the world of art from a young age, but he sought this build his career on his own merit without depending on his father's name. He made his film debut in 2017 with The Ballad of Lefty Brown, where he acted alongside his father in an independent western. In 2018, he appears in The Strangers Prayed at Night and Bad Times at the El Royale, where he began to stand out for his ability to convey complex emotions. His big breakthrough came with Top Gun Maverick in 2022, where he shared the screen with Tom Cruise. And last year, he starred in Salem's Lot, an adaptation of Stephen King. But if we talk about more like his independent work, uploading to platforms like YouTube, we can mention several where he played small leading roles, usually telling psychological stories. For example, The Voice in Your Head. It tells the story of a man named Dan who constantly lives with a voice in his head, making him feel insecure, telling him he must be normal, that he acts strangely or doesn't walk properly. It reflects the thoughts we sometimes have when we feel awkward. What's curious in this short film is what happens later. The critical voice comes to life and becomes noticeable to his co-workers, showing that he could no longer hide what he was experiencing. Even though he gets rid of it a moment, it returns, suggesting to the audience that even if you free yourself from those overwhelming thoughts for a while, they can come back because you are used to that voice, which ultimately is your own. He has other projects, all with a psychological focus, aiming to move or connect with the viewer, such as Ghostful Bodies, Craig's Pathetic Freakout, Lefty Righty, and Where You Are. These works explore themes like motherhood, substance abuse, depression, panic, and other emotions. But why are his works and roles like this? Well, here's the reason. First of all, did you remember I said Lewis Pullman studied at the Warren Wilson College? Well, that's one of the reasons that he acting like that. Pullman chose Warren Wilson College because he wanted a more human and less traditional environment, far from the typical Hollywood path. He didn't initially focus on acting, partly due to the personal pressure of being Bill Pullman's son, an actor well known in the 90s for films like Casper the Friendly Ghost. He didn't want to live in his father's shadow, so he sought to create his own path, building characters that were more emotional and less stereotypical. Thanks to his interest in social work, he developed a critical and empathetic vision of people and their problems. In interviews, Lewis has said that his training in social work helped him bring authenticity to characters with internal struggles, such as Bob Reynolds or Sentry in Thunderbolts. This experience allowed him to understand depression, loneliness, and addictions from a real perspective and then transmit them on screen. In the short films mentioned earlier, this sensibility is reflected in how he portrayed everyday characters with emotional nuances. Even though not all his early roles were leading ones, his ability to bring depth even to small roles helped him stand out and grow with the industry, eventually leading him to where he is today, continuing in acting and even joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Bob Reynolds. Lewis Pullman, at 32 years old, belongs to the same generation of actors as Dylan O'Brien and Daniel Radcliffe. However, his career has been built differently and more solidly in artistic terms. While O'Brien gained youthful fame with Teen Wolf and The Maze Runner, and Daniel Radcliffe became a global icon thanks to Harry Potter, Pullman has chosen a less media-driven but deeper path. O'Brien and Radcliffe are recognized for commercial franchises and their youthful charisma, but Pullman stands out for his ability to bring life to characters with internal battles, showing a duality between power and fragility that few actors his age can represent. In this sense, Lewis Pullman is not just another actor of his generation, he is one of who brings depth and authenticity, qualities that place him above many of his contemporaries in Hollywood, allowing audiences not only to watch a character but to truly identify with him, feeling the character as he does when portraying them. Also, for many people, Lewis Pullman may not to be the actor of the century. For me, he became deeply significant from the moment I saw him in Marvel. He not only led me to explore more of his projects, but also made me feel more confident in who I am. Characters like Bob or Dan showed me that he doesn't just read a script to perform it, he truly seeks to understand the person behind the character, connect with their emotions, and reflect them authentically on screen. That empathy is what makes him one of my favorite actors, even if he is not yet widely known. He will become one of the most respected cult actors of his generation. His inclination toward psychological, vulnerable, and complex character will position him as a reference among actors with greater emotional sensibility. Marvel will give him a more important role than we imagine. If his Sentry is well received, he could become one of the most intense and memorable figures of the new saga, perhaps even with his own movie or serving as a main antagonist or antihero in a major arc. He will become a highly influential figure in a psychological and human stories. In the future, it is likely that he will produce, direct, or write projects focused on themes such as depression, anxiety, loneliness, or human introspection. Give him previous interest in social work, he could promote stories with the real emotions and social impact, becoming a highly respected actor or director. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're more interested in the projects about Lewis Pullman, you can look up. I'm gonna say goodbye for today, so thank you for watching.